As always, people are busy starting their day. And this is today's hero, Claudio. He is a successful fund manager. He's in a high position, but he's a trash. Claudio is married with his wife.
Ok, mi piaceva. Sei contento?
But he is being dirty and vulgar. Eventually, he is left alone in the elevator.
Che donna, cazzo.
This elevator seems somewhat unstable. At this moment he is getting a phone call. And the moving elevator suddenly stops. It goes wrong often, so the elevator mechanic tells Claudio in a few minutes it's going to be fixed this time as usual. Several minutes passes, but the elevator doesn't move an inch. It's odd no one's coming to rescue him.
Oh, mi sentite? Sono Claudio Verona!
Time keeps running and Claudio is late for an important meeting. He's getting more and more nervous.
Mi dia un numero di telefonino, di cellulare, qualcosa così di...
He can't stand it anymore, so he calls up an elevator mechanic and tries to solve the problem, but even the service center can't really help him. He hears a scream of an urgent person over the phone, and the phone disconnects.
Pronto?
Claudio thinks for a while, and attempts to open the door by himself and get out of there. Luckily, when he opens the door, he can pass through. He managed to open the doors a little bit, but something blocked the door from sliding.
Claudio Verona, sono chiuso dentro l'ascensore!
Besides, the company he's working for must be bustling a lot with people, but he can't see a man, not even a shadow of a man today. Claudio is talking with his wife now. It seems that something serious is happening outside of the company, and all the things came up suddenly seems to be related to the riot his wife said a while ago. He blankly waits and waits for someone to come. But then with a scream, people rush to him. His colleague Marta is terrified and she's getting away from someone. She is dragged away by someone unknown.
Marta!
But then, at this moment violent people are running to Claudio. Their faces are covered with blood, and skins are decomposed. At a quick glance, he notices they're not normal. After then, these supernatural beings react to a bigger noise, and they run away weird. He keeps asking for help, and it clarifies him no one's here to help him. And he's locked up here. Claudio is off his guard and zombies attack him again. He probably thinks they're not humans. This time he damages them. There is not just one violent zombie, but thanks to the broken elevator, Claudio gets a chance to stay alive. He starts to wipe out the blood with the first thing comes at his hand, but he can't rest for a bit. He hears a human moving towards him. It turns out that an intern Sylvia made the noise, so the two join their hands and try to open the door. As expected, the doors don't move an inch. Claudio is certainly locked up in the elevator. In this situation, the elevator he's locked in is a pretty good bunker which is open just a little bit. But because the doors are open just a bit, Sylvia can't avoid zombies. Not like Claudio, Sylvia already has adjusted this situation quickly. But she also let her guard down like Claudio. She ends up getting killed by the zombies. Failed to escape, and watched his colleagues dying out right in front of his eyes 2 times. So he is frustrated. He wishes his wife who is far away from him well and calls her up. But his hopes are shattered in a moment. Despite his many different attempts to open the door, he failed all the time. So even if someone comes to rescue him, he wouldn't be glad.
Aiutami ad aprirle. T'ho già detto che sono bloccate.
These repeated things drove Claudio crazy. When things passed his limit, he provokes the zombies. Even if he holds his breath and stays silent in the elevator and wait until the soldier or police officer to rescue him, he has a scarce change of survival. And he even caused another colleague's slaughter. Claudio gets back to his senses and he finds out what's happening using his social media. It's pretty much the same outside. Defenseless people are getting damaged by zombies, and not only a few, but people are turning violent all over the nation. So Claudio realizes he can't hold hopes and he loses hopes. But then someone appears and gets rid of them one by one.
Sono dentro l'ascensore, aiuto!
Non mi dire cazzate, sei stato ferito o no?
No, ti giuro, no.
The man with the gun is named Marcello. He's separated from his team members, and while he was searching here, Claudio was luckily found by him.
Attento!
Marcello saw the stopped elevator and he thinks they need electricity supply to rescue Claudio.
Sì, non lo so, ci provo.
Dai, cazzo, dai, prendi la mira e spari, senza esitare, ok?
He says he will go fix the generator by himself, and he hands in his gun and radio transceiver to Claudio, who will be left alone. After then, Marcello moves to the generator following guidance of Marcello. He hears the sound of gun coming from far away. Marcello effortlessly kills off zombies and proceeds.
Pensa.
Soon Marcello successfully run the generator, but the elevator doors stay still.
C'è qualcosa che blocca le porte dell'ascensore.
And once again they are interrupted by a zombie. Claudio has never shooted a gun, and he gets nervous, so he misses the target and wastes one bullet. The reason he hesitates to kill is that his longtime colleagues are here. Claudio blames himself and he's in despair.
Amore, lì gli ho fatto anche da padrino al figlio. Conosco le mogli, le famiglie.
Then he hears a scream of Marcello coming out from the radio transceiver. A few seconds later, he loses connection to Marcello. It seems that he can only wish God to help him, since his only hope, Marcello, is killed by zombies. At this moment he sees one gun.
Io non ve la do sta soddisfazione.
He decides to kill himself and attempts to die. Just in time he hears a familiar voice coming through the ceiling. If he was a bit late, Marcello would have seen Claudio's corpse. But fortunately things have a dramatic spin, so they meet again in the elevator. But it seems that it's uncomfortable for Marcello to move some parts of his body. He has a new wound he didn't have before. Claudio's negative guess wasn't wrong. The wound was a zombie bite.
Aspetta. È strano, vero?
Claudio cautiously talks to Marcello, who fell into a danger because of him.
Come si chiama tua moglie?
Chiara.
Marcello has a family. It's too bad, but he doesn't have much time left. He has no choice, but his life is at Claudio's hand.
Allora senti, quando vedi che mi sono addormentato, mi spari 2 colpi alla nuca.
But Claudio can't bring himself to kill Marcello, who got wounded while he saved Claudio.
Io sento che sto cambiando.
So as Claudio refuses, Marcello wants to end his life. A few moments later, still alive, Marcello loses his senses and turns into the zombies as well. Claudio shows us a tough road over an easy one. His phone is suddenly ringing. It is from Lorena, his wife.
Pronto?
Claudio didn't have a reason to live, but now he has a reason to live. But just in time, his battery dies.
Lorena.
Now it's time to choose.
Scusa, Marce.
His eagerness eventually gets rid of a part of elevator that blocked doors. After a lot of things happened, finally he escapes from the dreadful elevator. As he leaves the elevator, he sees the company outside the doors, and it is like a hell. Corpses killed and were killed are scattered in the company. In the ruined city and among zombies, Claudio was locked up in the elevator, but he was fortunate. Thank you for watching Movie Goes Movie Recap. Next time, if you want to watch fun and various movie recaps, please subscribe and thumbs up.